Yo, welcome back to another video, and today is the part 2 series of my budget stratagems. So, to start off, I get some bad drops. I joined some random games, and I'm using the Pummeler, the new SMG that came out with concussive shots. And honestly, it doesn't have a lot of damage, but damn, is it so nice to use against these stalkers, because, I'm usually getting pummeled myself, so it's nice to do the pummeling once and for all. And because it has that stun shot, they're not able to like really come forward and attack. And so, I have a nice safe distance to use stratagems and some time if my teammates wanted to help, which they usually don't. But that's okay. Anyway, so if you didn't watch part 1 in this video, I am using budget stratagems to see how viable they are in high level gameplay. So I'm doing level 9 Helldive difficulty, and I'm doing multiplayer right here. And the stratagems that I'm using are firstly the Eagle Airstrike, and that'll give me a good damage spam and AoE if I need it. The Cluster Orbital Strike, or they called it the Airburst Orbital Strike, excuse me. That gives me a good AoE wave clear for mobs, for those lesser, smaller mobs that just kind of swarm. The Precision Orbital I use because it has a quick cooldown and it does one-shot Titans and those bigger enemies, so that's nice. And finally, I'm using the Expendable Anti-Tank because it's nice to have some sort of charger disposal device, because there's going to be a lot of chargers here, and sometimes I'll probably need it to clear Bile Titans if my stratagems aren't enough. So in doing some testing, I found the best way to clear these small bug holes was to first throw an airburst orbital strike and then throw one of the airstrikes on there, the Eagle airstrikes, to kind of final clear the objective location, and then I could just kind of walk in and clear the remaining holes that I may have missed very easily, because there's nothing left alive after casting both of those stratagems in a small area. So I use this kind of strategy to clear out either most objectives and especially bug hole locations, so I don't get swarmed and stuff, while making sure that I grab all the samples I can through the map. And I try to push points solo if I can, just to see how viable my kit is in and of itself. But of course, I don't mind getting help from my teammates if need be. But I do want to see how viable my stratagems combinations are, especially with the new submachine gun concussive rounds, to see how much damage I could really dish out and how comfortable I should be pushing locations solo. So again, I throw my orbital airstrike into my Eagle airstrike to clear out the majority of mobs in the location, and once those come down, I go in and easily pick up the remainder of the enemies that may have spawned and get straight into doing the objective. And I do think that the Pummeler SMG is the best SMG out right now, because it does have less damage than the Defender SMG, but honestly speaking, it has so much more utility from the concussive rounds and stuff that is just so much more worth it in my opinion. So if you guys do end up getting the Polar Patriots War Bond, I hope you guys do try out this weapon. And if you want to see the comparison, I'll link the video at the end of this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And right here you can see I used my orbital precision strike, and it went far to the left of the Titan, which was strange. I have a couple more clips showing that. I'm not sure why the trajectory is so off. I look up at the warship that obviously you spawned from in space, but I didn't see them too angled when I threw my stratagems, especially the precision strike, so it's just kind of weird how that happened. So I found a heavy bug nest and I decided to try and complete it myself. So I first clear out some of the mobs, as I always do, with the orbital airburst strike, and then try to place my Eagle airstrike so that I can clear as many bug holes as possible. I end up getting 2, so that's fine with me. Then if you watch my other video, you can see that the expendable anti-tank, can clear bug holes by spawning on it, so I don't have to waste a rocket there. Haha, if you did watch that video, there you go, it is useful. And then I decided to clear the rest of it with Eagle airstrikes, airburst strikes, and rockets just to be safe. But as I was kind of walking around the map, kind of clearing out the mobs and just having a nice good old relaxing time, I did encounter a bunch of Bile Titans that randomly spawned in there, as well as obviously having to fight out the Shriekers and Shrieker nests, which had to be taken care of after that. But I was like, I'd rather do the bug holes right now so that I don't have to worry about it. One less thing, one objective at a time is what I like to do. And so you can see me here just clearing out some of the bug holes. I pick up some of the samples where I died last time. And then I just finish it. I'm trying to finish it off. There's actually 2 bug holes. I thought this was the last one, but there's actually another one. I was slowed, so I ended up using a rocket and getting chased by a Bile Titan. Teammate ends up coming in to save me and take some of the aggro. I throw one of my orbital precision strikes, and that absolutely destroys one of the Titans, which is super nice. I do love that about it. It has like a 100-second cooldown too, so I could honestly just kind of run for a little bit less than 2 minutes, and it already comes back and I could use it again. So now that there's just one left, I was debating whether to use the Eagle airstrike or just walk over there. I was like, I can probably make it, but then I started getting stuck on all these rocks, so I'm like, I'm not going to risk it, and I need to kill the Bile Titan. So I tried to shoot the airstrike somewhere near the Bile Titan on my left and just kind of kite the one on my right here. I end up getting the Bile Titan on the left, so now I have a clear shot. So now I'm just going to make a dead sprint, and a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, it's the last bug hole. We clear it, we get the objective secured, and we leave. And now we're going to get the rocket. Right here's the other kind of example where I'm using the precision airstrike. It's pretty straight down on the orbital. My ship will be a little higher up to my left, but look, it's dead in. I'm just waiting for it, and it goes far to the left. You can see it's a couple inches. Looking for my ship right now. It ends up being like far a little above my head to the left, but it's pretty like center to the map. I'll show a better image of that later on, but because we have other stratagems to rely on, it's not too huge of a deal. Plus it has a slow cooldown, so we end up using Eagle strikes, rockets, and teammates end up helping us clear it there, and then clearing out some of the mobs so we could finish up this objective, and teammates can go to the computer terminal and finish that up. So I end up clearing some of the objectives here, and I'm using that shock booster, so if you see me get hit by slow and then somehow get out of that slow very quickly, it's because that new booster is pretty useful, honestly speaking. And anyways, so I'm using the other orbital precision strike that I just got back to clear out this other Titan. And again, I'm looking to see if I can time it perfectly to get a nice abdomen shot, which one-shots them. And right here, I mean, it would have been perfect. It would have been dead on. But again, it shoots to the left again. It's very strange. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. I thought it was the trajectory based on the spaceship in the sky shooting it, but I don't know. This time I was pretty much in the same location, a little farther, and like it again hits to the left, so I don't know. But like, look, my ships are right above me, so it's kind of strange that it has such a weird trajectory sometimes. But again, whatever, it happens. We have other stratagems just in case. I mean, it is a budget stratagem, so I understand that they have maybe some problems aiming it properly, but that's why we have a bunch of others to lean on just in case. So what is that? I think it's S2 and I are getting absolutely fiended by these two, so I use whatever I have because these stratagems that I have are pretty good for spamming. I wanted to hit the front guy, but I ended up hitting the back and maybe clipping some of the first Titan, but I really wanted to clear out that first Titan because I mean, he was the closest and it would have gave us some more time to breathe, but that's okay. I have the anti-tank on the way, and we end up getting that down, picking it up, and getting that easy shot and kill off the first Titan. I really wanted to get my second anti-tank, but the Bile Titan obviously went to me for aggro, so I ended up keep running, and through some time, I got my orbital precision strike back, and I was like, you swear to God, you better hit this time. So I looked to time it perfectly by shooting it a little bit in front of me. You can see here it has a 7-second call-in, which is not normal. Usually it's a 5, but in this map we have the extra time for deployment of stratagems, and which sometimes you'll have, and it does make things a little bit harder because it's kind of hard to time the precision strikes normally. So giving that extra 2 seconds is a little hard, but if you dance around their feet and kind of get them to stomp and stuff, they'll be in place for a while, and then you can see it's super nice to get that clean kill. It feels very satisfying, and again, it has a 100-second cooldown, so even if you miss here and there, it's not that big of a deal. Just use the Eagle Air Strikes, the expendable anti-tanks, and you should be fine, especially if you have other teammates with you. And then I'm just getting pummeled by this charger, and they always use these damn cluster strikes. There's actually 2 of them on that team using it. This whole game I was like dying by them because, I mean, the range on the cluster strikes are insane. That's why I kind of like the orbital air burst, because although it's basically the same, it has such a smaller and more concentrated area of effect. It makes it less team kill involved, so that's kind of like the nice part about the kit. But again, if you're going for that big AoE, then obviously the air strike, the Eagle cluster strike will be the way to go. But again, you're going to kill like your teammates a ton. They're going to get mad at you. T4, the green one, ended up being really angry at the end of this game and started like swearing and cursing him out. I ended up cutting that out because I don't really care for that on this video. That's not really the main topic of this, so whatever. And then as I was waiting for some stratagems to come in, the ship ended up landing. So I was like, well, might as well just get on the ship because these guys just immediately jumped on there. T4 was farther away. Normally I would wait. That's why I was kind of staying on the outside area of the extraction zone. But they got in, so I was like, well, might as well get in as well. We ended up missing one of the objectives on the map. I believe it was one of the siege artillery ones. So with that and the non-extraction of one of our Helldivers, we ended up getting 3 stars, which was actually really sad. But I mean, it is what it is, you know, with these open games that you get in. But I hope this was a good example to show you guys how the weaker budget stratagems can be pretty strong and viable in Helldivers 9 difficulty. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.